This is your master right here. The modern slave worships validation through productivity. Health research shows that 69%, nice, of Canadian workers experienced burnout symptoms, not nice, such as fatigue and low motivation. Now here's the problem. If we're told to work so that then we can enjoy our life, so if half your life is spent working, you're 9 to 5, then you expect your evening is going to be better, meaning you're going to go and spend time doing other things, maybe your hobbies, maybe spend time with family. But if you are already working more, let's bump it up from 40 hours a week to, let's say, 40 to 60 hours a week. And that's not even including people who work 80 hours a week or more. And if we take that metric and stack it onto your day, well, now you spent most of your day working, but you don't even want to do anything after. People who overwork themselves end up not enjoying anything anyway. They're essentially just paying the bills or spinning the wheel for society. And I'm saying this as somebody who also has put in 80 plus hour weeks. Weeks? Years. And when you take a step back from that and you just work a normal amount or even less, you start to realize that not only you're working with higher leverage, meaning you're actually getting things done so much more efficiently without diminishing returns. And for those of you guys who don't know, but in this scenario, diminishing returns is when you work so many hours that for every extra hour you work, your productivity actually reduces. So it creates like this logarithmic graph, meaning more doesn't always equal more. It's only to a point until it becomes useless. And what ends up happening is if you shove all this work into 5 days, especially, that's where most people are working, 5 days, and your weekend, so your Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday are spent recovering from the work, but not in the sense that you're going to be enjoying your hobbies, going out, doing things. No, you're actually just laying there, scrolling on your phone or watching a show on Netflix because you literally have no energy. You're fully fatigued and you couldn't be bothered to get out of bed. You're probably ordering food to be delivered to your door. You sit there, you watch TV, and we all go downhill from there. Now, the point here is that slavery actually hasn't gone anywhere. It just changed. It now has a mask. It's hidden, but lately a lot of people have been talking about that. So you already know that. And pretty much how it looks like is if back in the day, slaves would work half a day or all day and be provided shelter, food, and whatever other basic needs. Now, I'm not saying it was great. I'm not saying it was right. I'm saying they lived, they existed, if you want to put it that way. But these days, ask yourself, aren't you just existing if you're working that many hours? Forget 60 hours a week, even 40 hours, which is considered the standard full-time work. Even that's too much because it takes up more than 8 hours a day. Because you actually have to get up early, get ready, commute, and then do the exact same thing but opposite. So meaning you're coming home, you're commuting home, and then you're winding down and whatever. And then you have like 2 hours left of your day. I don't know if you guys can hear, my sister's playing the piano right now. Very timely. But if you're just working those 40 hours a week, you're getting a currency, which is money, which you can trade for other things of value that you want to buy. Great, so we have an economy. So you're working 40 hours a week and you're trading that work for currency, money, which in turn you can buy goods with, things that you want, maybe food. And yes, this is Canadian money, it's fake, or it looks fake at least, it's plastic. Now, if you really, really think about it, if you're using the currency that you earned through work to go and provide for your basic needs, which slaves back in the day got anyway for working, how is this any different? Actually ask yourself, how is this any different? I'm not trying to be pessimistic. Obviously, I'm sure if we had to choose be a slave back in the day versus today, we would choose today. So there's definitely benefits with that. And there may be some more freedom of choice when it comes to, well, today you want to eat sushi and tomorrow you want to eat a steak. Great. And same with the activities you choose to do. But if you're already tired and you don't feel like doing anything, so you don't care about what activity to do, and the food's getting expensive, so what ends up happening is you buy the basic shit and then cook, which is actually really good. Cooking for yourself is great, which I don't do, by the way, but that's besides the point. I probably should do that. But Do you see how is this any different? It really isn't that much different. The frame or the construct is almost identical. Now the next question would be, how do we get out of that then? How do we not be slaves? Because can we just avoid working all our lives? As people, we're going to work. That's just how our society is built. And you need some level of output. Now that does not mean you have to measure yourself against a certain form of productivity. But this is where you get to decide, are you going to work for yourself? Are you going to work on something of your own? Are you going to work on what you're passionate about? This is a first world problem, which slaves back in the day never got to even think about that. So that's the good part. You actually have a choice, even though it feels like you don't, and it seems like everything is gloomy. It's not actually impossible. As these machines, as these AIs take over our world, or not take over, but take over our jobs, we're gonna ascend a level, meaning we're gonna be doing less repetitive manual work because AI is gonna be able to do that, which means you're gonna now be more on the creative side. So work is going towards creativity. It doesn't even have to be social media, it's just gonna be more personal and more creative. Just like artisans back in the day, where each person had their own craft and people would come to their homes like shoemakers and get their shoes fixed, or bladesmith or blacksmith, whoever makes your swords. It's basically making a full circle back to that, where each person is going to have their own expertise, but not in a giant corporate environment working 24/7. Instead, it's going to be more passionate work that you like. It's your craft, it's your skill, and that's the service you give to other people, whether that's through social media or that's through in-person exchanges, whatever way it is. That's where it seems like it's moving. And I can't tell you yet if this is the right thing or not to do, but what I can say is that it's going that way anyway. So you might as well get started early. Anyways, thanks for listening. I'll catch you guys in the next one.